So I went ahead and ordered the newest MacBook Pro with the M5 chip. I'll go into reasons later on in the video as to why, but for now, come for the journey, come grab it, and I'll see you guys soon. So for anyone who's ever bought stuff from Best Buy, they have like a locker pickup system. And I went ahead and obviously heard when I put in the passcode, the click of the said locker. When I went ahead and opened up the first one, my MacBook was not there, and it kind of freaked me out. But then I looked down to my left a little bit, and there was another one that was open, so I opened up that one, and thankfully, my MacBook was there. Alright, so I just got back from Best Buy and gone ahead and secured the M5 MacBook Pro, the 14-inch. I do have another one. It was the MacBook Pro from 2017, so pretty much coming up to almost 9 years old now. And it did me well, it did, but I just need something faster, especially with getting into the whole like video editing, social media space. So here we go. So this is the M5 chip with 24 gigabytes of memory and 1 terabyte of storage. I was considering 2 terabytes, but I think the 1 terabyte should be more than enough for what I need, because I can always just get an external SSD and just go ahead and move everything over there. Alright, also don't mind the plethora of cables over there. I've got to do some cleaning and moving around of things. So let's get this thing open, see what it's about, and let's just get started. Okay. I feel like a kid on Christmas Day. Come on. Bro, I need nails, man. Yo. Are you serious? There we go. Also, I apologize for the very shaky video right now, but I've got it on a Ulanzi tripod. I'm trying to find ways to make it a little bit more solid, but as of right now, it'll do. So I got this in the space black. It's really just more like a dark gray, if anything, but they also are going to be coming out with the M5 Max chip and the M5 Pro chip, but that's going to be later, and I think like early to mid 2026, I'm pretty sure is what they said. That's just paperwork, unnecessary. Here we go with the charging block. They made it smaller, or maybe it's just less power output. What is this? This is 70 watt, I think, or 76 watt, one of the two. No, it's 70 watt. And then you do get a very nice black braided cable, type C to type C. I lied, it's not type C to type C. This is Type-C to, I am not a huge tech head, so I don't know what the plugin for this is called, but some HDMI port, or again, I'm really showing how non-versed I am in the tech world, but there's the cable. And then this is just empty box. So another real big reason why I got a new MacBook is obviously my 2017 is so old that I cannot really use it anymore. But another big reason is I started a podcast. I'm sorry if that was rather loud. I started a podcast back in close to a year ago now, and basically all the plugins and everything that I've got to power up the microphone, displays and everything just did not work because my MacBook could not do any more software updates. And that's really the biggest thing with a lot of tech, is being able to keep up with the software update with the newer tech that's coming out to then be able to use it. But here we go. Who needs a new car when you just get a new MacBook? Man, compared to my 2017, I think my 17 was a 16-inch. This only comes in the 14-inch for right now. But I actually prefer the slightly smaller work size because I also do have an iPad Pro M4 chip. That one is the 11-inch. I went with the 11-inch versus the 13 because I wanted something that I could bring with me daily to go ahead and edit on the go. So I am slowly getting into preferring the smaller form factor versus the bigger. I will say though, the bigger screen, it's in person, it's easier to see the difference. And having that surface area and that wider screen circumference definitely is nice, but my big thing is portability. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Click this. Obviously English. Oh. United States. Transfer data. I really don't have anything, so I just set up as new. No, don't really need any of that stuff. Now, where's my one? There's my Wi-Fi. Continue. Create a Mac account. That is the wrong name. Make sure I type in my name right. You know what? I'll keep it as Panda. I like Panda. And then go, password. I need to change my password because I have like only 5 passwords in rotation. So let me create one real quick. I'll be right back. Sign into your Apple account. All right, there we go. I agree. I don't think really anyone reads any of the terms and conditions nowadays. Oh, they've even changed up the Touch ID. On my 2017 MacBook Pro is more like a small LCD screen of sorts. This is more... Cool. Yeah, so later. I really don't think I'll be using Apple Pay on this thing ever. Okay, this is kind of sick. Huh, they even have Bournemouth up here. My hometown. Cool. Sure. And then Fayetteville. Here we go. Chance of rain. It's not chance of rain. It's currently raining as right now. Alright, so, it's been about like an hour or two. I've got the MacBook set up, so that's all good to go. I also went ahead and finally got the little podcast area set up. It's a work in progress, for sure. Like my other spot, I had like the actual sofa, but I'm currently sleeping on my sofa. But that's a story for another time. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of show you. It's basically like the same kind of gist and layout I had before, but there are some slight changes I definitely want to make. But for right now, it'll work until I get everything up and running. It's going to work. So basically the way that I have this set up right now is I'm going to be recording this on my Osmo Pocket 3, basically as like a webcam, if you will. Obviously the M5 MacBook Pro I just picked up. Great investment for sure. I'm a little kind of stressed out because it was a little expensive, but that's stress for another time. But like, you know, the whole saying of invest in yourself wisely. So keep that in mind. Anyway, obviously you got some incense going there. It'd be nice to have that going whilst I'm doing some of the podcasts. Just a little notebook of just, you know, options and ideas that I'm going to write down and talk about. The audio interface, it's an audio interface, that's literally all it is. And then obviously the Rode mic. So this is kind of the setup for now. And I'm just going to be basically just sitting here on the ground. I've been looking up seats that are basically like floor seats. So I want to have one here. So it'll be me and my friend Michael whenever he comes and helps out with the podcast. So I'll kind of go ahead and place a couple of those that I'm kind of talking about, so you gotta have a general idea on what I want. So yeah, 2 seats there, and then podcasting right there. So I guess like just a little story as to why kind of podcasting. So podcasting was my actual like first attempt at like social media, YouTube stuff. It hasn't been that long. I again started this I think just under a year ago. And it's been great. It really has. And I want to start that journey again. But there is definitely going to be some tweaks with it. The original name for the podcast was Life's Vendetta because I did not like life. Sure, life and reality is hard for many. But I think I always just kind of victimized certain aspects of my life that I could have just changed. One of them is quitting work. But I think what it was this whole sense of it was depressingly comfortable, if that makes any sense. I hated the job, but there was comfort in there because I did it for a good chunk of time. So you just kind of get into this, you dig yourself into this hole that you want to get out of, but it's so warm and cozy, if that makes any kind of sense. So yeah, the podcasting was my like attempt of trying to get out of that rat race, if you will. And so Life's Vendetta was talking about like current events and, you know, the dislike of life and how life isn't too bad. It's not too bad. So I have now switched it. The title for the new podcast is The Slow and Simple. Again, based around my whole entity of enjoying a slow and simple life. Whatever that may be. It could be your whole life slow and simple. Portions of your life are slow and simple. For me, I want the rest of my life to be slow and simple. So things that I enjoy, whether that be waking up at 6 a.m. to watch the sunrise or going back out at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. to watch the sunset. Like, it's just little things that you enjoy, I think, equate to a simple life. So I'm trying my best to reach that goal, and we'll kind of see what happens with that. So that's kind of why I pivoted from that aspect of a podcast more to this one, because it relates to me a lot more, the current idea that I want to run with. Yeah, so just let me know what you guys think. I mean, I'm still going to run with it, but, you know, anything that I can improve upon, just let me know. Okay, so I just got delivered the other magic arm that is slightly longer than the current one. This one, I think, is 9.8 inches from end to end. It works well with my iPhone. I did like a quick test with my Ricoh GR3, attaching the Ricoh GR3 to this end, and then a MagSafe mount on this end for my iPhone. So this works really well for my iPhone. But I also want to do some shots with the magic arm with my XH2S and my iPhone and so on and so forth, and a bunch of other stuff. But the lens I usually have on it is 24, well, this is 16 to 55, but the full frame equivalent is 24 to, I think, 80, along those lines. Basically, it's 16 times the crop factor, which is 1.5 for APS-C. So here is the new magic arm. I'm keeping both. So this one is 11 inches from end to end. So we're just gonna kind of see the difference between the two. If I can even get this open. I'm just gonna be a Neanderthal and just rip this open. Yeah, it's just an empty box. But yeah, so you can get some really cool shots with the magic arm. I tend to not use much of the stuff that I buy, and this is just like an action camera mount. I might use it, I might not. I doubt I will, but if I need it, I have one. So a lot of the stuff that I do purchase, I use maybe very, very rarely. But the magic arm, ever since I tried it out, I really did enjoy it. So they said that this one is 11 inches from corner to corner. I think it's just the exact same size. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just the exact same size, but no worries. I can go ahead and find a way to extend this. So we will kind of see how I go with that. There are definitely ways to attach these and extend them 100%, but this is exactly the same as the two others. So you have a nice clamp on here, and then pretty much everything else is just stuck on there. So magic arms, it creates like a whole new sense of cinematography and viewing the world. It's such a simple thing, but it's so cool. They're pretty much, yeah, the exact same size from here to here. So let's see if I do that. Yeah, the exact same size. It's just this one, the clamp is just stuck on there compared to this one where you can remove the clamp, which I did. But I do have some of these Falcam F38 plates, specifically the version 2, and what I'm thinking about doing is going ahead and screwing on the base plate to this end, and then using one of these other free screw holes, just screwing this one in here. Yeah, and I mean, like, that's now more than enough. Absolutely more than enough for what I want. So there are definitely ways to experiment, play around with the magic arm. So I'm just gonna keep experimenting and see what we can do with this. Huh. Honestly, it's kind of overkill, but it's kind of sick as well. So yesterday my friend Michael really wanted to go to this castle and get some shots of just the small little adventure we went on. He has this really cool old school tape recorder, and that thing is sick. We are really living in a time where tech is advancing so much, but there's always this sense of nostalgia we want to come back to. And that's especially true with a lot of my editing styles as well, is I'm trying to capture some sort of like cinematic nostalgia look. So I also brought along my magic arm with me that I kind of tested out with my Rico that I talked about prior, and just kind of filming it with my iPhone. For whatever reason, I've been really into shooting scenes within a scene. So an example of that is obviously this clip that I'm showing right now, which is just the video of my XH2S recording me recording the wing mirror and just capturing the scene behind us driving, and it just, the sun hitting the wing mirror, it just was crisp. That's all I can say, it was crisp. So for anyone who does any video work professionally or maybe just amateurly, is that even a word? Whatever. The fear of not pressing the record button. Obviously, shot, you see it, but not recording. Thankfully, this was just personal adventure, just some fun stuff, so I wasn't too worried. But for the XH2S, in my prior videos, you can see that there is like a red border to indicate when it's recording. I unfortunately was not recording this, so I had to kind of reshoot. Again, not too stressed, but it would have sucked.
Oh yeah, it's about time.
So once we got to the castle, I unfortunately didn't shoot much here just because, I don't know, I just didn't really press record on my iPhone a lot. I did record a few cinematic shots, but probably nothing that I'll keep. But I definitely want to come back here when it's like actually open, because we got there pretty late. I think we got there around like late 6:37, so everything was closed. But the actual place itself was pretty cool. It was a nice little castle, a lot of history there clearly. But overall, I was there for the adventure. It was a fun time. So ending this vlog, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of compile the shots that I did keep, edited, cinematic, nostalgia. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys soon.